Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the latest Insight podcast. This is January's episode, and I'm so excited, as always, to connect and talk and share and all of the things. So, what has been going on since last time? Last episode was before the New Year's. It was December. I was really winding down, which is something that was so good for me because the fall was so busy. And I think a lot of people feel this, that the fall can be very busy time. I feel fall and spring are the most busy times, even though summer can also feel it, but there's some sort of stabilization that happens in the summer and the winter for me. And the fall is just like a lot going on and and work and events and things like this. So what I normally do is I ease into December and I don't do any in-person events in December that are like big events. I can do private events. I can be hired in. I had two events in December, but they were like small private groups. So that was so good. And I really felt like I was able to catch up and slow down and enjoy family. And I had a lot of family visiting from the US, from north of Norway, from the west of Norway. So it was really good to have that time. And now we're in January and almost through January, which is really cool. And this start of the year has been, I would say, really great, actually. So there's been so many opportunities, so many people reaching out. I think at this point, which is really cool, I'm going to post as well because I was just reflecting on it. Right now, I've been invited to two festivals, five retreats, two online programs, and a guest teacher at a university in Oslo to teach about facilitation, not even guide breathwork, but actually talk about group facilitation and transformation, which is just insane for me. It's not crazy, but it is at the same time. Like I'm getting hired into a university education. Really cool. And we're on the 20th of January. So yeah, five retreats, two online programs as guest teachers as a breath worker, two festivals as a breath worker, and a guest teacher at a university. And there could be a couple more, but I'm just like, this is amazing. We're only 20 days in. So I am feeling a lot of clarity. I'm feeling a lot of support. I'm feeling a lot of momentum. And something that I have been so focused on throughout my career, and this is something that I really wish for you as well, is to not always look at your results as the determination of how things are going. And of course, it's so good to measure, and results do show, in one way how things are going. But if anything, they show how things were going, because sometimes results take time before they catch up to your current reality. Sometimes you are creating, you're kind of like creating the future right now. Whatever you're doing right now, you're probably going to feel in a month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now, this ripple effect where the ripple needs to travel. Of course, there's things that happen right away, right? We are so used to and almost addicted to instant gratification because it's a real thing. You can get instant gratification. You can get instant alignment. You can get instant validation, clarity. Like it's so real and obvious and part of, motivation to be like, okay, I'm on the right track. I'm getting some good my body is responding well to this right now. But sometimes you make a change, you make a leap, and the body doesn't respond right away. It's like typical detox symptoms, right? You know you're doing something good for your body, but your body is detoxing, and detoxing doesn't always feel good. There's fever symptoms or headaches or doubt or different emotional processes. It doesn't mean that this is not good for you. It just means that there's like a little bit of a thing that needs to flush out in order to really step into it. So, this is so important when it comes to clarity in life as well, because sometimes you can go for something and it can feel so clear. You're just like, this is what I want. This is good for me. This is the path. This is something I've been dreaming of. This feels really right. And then when you start walking it, the detox symptoms start. You guys know this. It's the classic stuff, the resistance, the sabotage, and also just the naturalness of kind of feeling your edges, the naturalness of the unknown. So it's not always that you're sabotaging yourself. That can just be a part of it. It can just be like a natural detox symptom of a little bit of doubt creeping in, a little bit of unfamiliar creeping in, awkwardness, not knowing. And that doesn't mean you're sabotaging the whole thing, it just means you're experiencing a detox symptom. You're experiencing an expansion, um, how your body's responding to what you're going for. So, why did I start talking about this? Yeah, this has been, yeah, I honestly don't know where that riff started, but it's all good. So I hope it served you, and we'll keep talking about it because I made a poll on my Instagram about, what should I talk about in this episode? And there were votes for talking about the 10-year cycle, and there was votes about talking about clarity and courage. So we're on the same page. I'm super excited, and yeah, want to share some things in this podcast that are really going to help you feel how far you've come and be able to keep moving forward with clarity and courage. That's the vibe. So, since the last podcast, I ended Healing the Heart program. So, that was the 10th edition. It was so beautiful. It was so kind of next level. This is a live program on emotional intelligence and resourcing. So, it's a program where it's like if you feel your self worth is a bit wobbly, if your self belief is a bit wobbly, if you feel your communication, your boundaries, your emotional world is a bit of a mess in a sense of it feels challenging to connect to your emotions and stay grounded at the same time. It feels challenging to communicate and stay with your heart at the same time. It feels challenging to set boundaries and not go into people pleasing. And if that's you, then this program is all about resourcing. This program is all about giving you tools, experiences, conversations, community practices to build this toolbox for yourself because it's so needed. And when we talk about courage, I'm talking a lot about courage right now, also inside of the Ripple Effect, my mini membership, $29 a month. It's like less than a coffee. And you get so much in there, you guys. I've been doing 1 week audios for a year and a half, maybe. So there's like 18 months of content in there that you can just binge and little audio clips. And it's very organized with all the topics. I do one topic a month, so it's not like every day for 18 months, but it's 1 week every month. So every month, 7 days, a little audio about a certain topic. This month, we're talking about courage and how safety is something that is so important to have. But once you have it, you got it in a way. And of course it can strengthen, and every kind of new edge is going to require like a more capacity to feel safe and more self-trust. But once you have it, it's kind of like something where you have it and you're like, okay, I got this now. Now let's step out. Now let's do the thing. Now let's be courageous. Now let's do this, because I know that I can return to my safety. And healing the heart is that safety resource. It's talking about how you can really build self-worth and self-belief that doesn't change, it doesn't move. Self-belief changes more than self-worth in my world. Self-worth is something that I feel once you anchor in, it doesn't change. Self-belief will always change. You will always kind of, as you become and as you experience more, you're going to believe and trust yourself more. But self-worth is something that kind of needs to be restored as an ever-present thing that never changes. So once you've really nailed this part, the emotional resourcing, protection, heart, communication, boundaries, understanding trauma responses, then it's really time for courage. And of course, you can have a lot of courage before knowing all of these things, but there will be some point where you're going to get farther when you know those things. You're going to know farther when you have more anchors, and your relationships are going to be easier. You're going to be able to expand. I mean, you can be very courageous and have a failing relationship. You can be really courageous and not feel connected to your heart, right? So we want both. We want you to feel courageous and that you're going for things and that you're trusting yourself. And we want the safety in the relationships. We want the safety in the body. So I want both for you because I have lived a life where I've been very courageous and at the same time, I could see that there was parts in my personal relationships that weren't completely safe or completely taken care of. I could see that there were parts of myself that I was suppressing. So now it's like really entering into having both. And this brings me to the 10-year cycle. So there's a trend going on social media right now that is about 2016. And in December, I was celebrating. So I think it was right after the podcast, actually, that same week, I celebrated 10 years, my 10-year anniversary of being a breath worker and working with people. And to be honest, I didn't even know that that was going to happen. It just showed up on my Facebook memories, which I love so much. That's such a big part of posting is being able to look back on memories. I love it. And I saw I posted my first ever breathwork event. It was December 16th or something, and or 19th, December 19th, I think it was. So it was right after the podcast. And yeah, I was just like, oh my God, I'm having my 10-year anniversary. I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared for this. And I had also been going through, if you're a client of mine, you know a little bit more about this process, but I've been going through a little bit of a period where it's been hard to celebrate myself. There's certain things that happen in your life that can sometimes set you back. You can have little setbacks and it's totally normal. And I've been having something like that. I've been having a setback where it's been harder to celebrate myself. It's been harder to kind of put time aside to really like acknowledge and reflect. It's been a lot about serving my clients and regulating, like being in safety. So my work a lot lately has been about safety. It has been about regulation. It has been about resourcing. And it's been such an important era of my career the past 2 years of really grounding into safety. And me and my clients, we have worked so much with resourcing. We have worked so much with self-worth and slowing down and really like being with the body and understanding trauma responses. And we've been really going deep into this because that's really where I could teach in an embodied place. And so I'm seeing this 10-year anniversary thing and I'm just like, oh my God, I have to celebrate myself. And then I was like, oh, but this came really quickly. Like, what am I going to do? So I made like a post and celebrating myself or just like, acknowledging it. And I know so many of you that have been following me for a while were commenting and celebrating me, and that just means the world. I think something I'm also realizing is the community that so in this 10-year cycle, I'm just going to share like a little bit more, like just this is just what I'm feeling when I reflect on my 10-year cycle. 10 years ago, I was busy. And you can see on my Instagram because I posted the trend of what I was up to 10 years ago, and I could have posted a lot more, but I just kind of wanted it to get out there and share, kind of like the bigger things. But I was busy. I was traveling. I went to different retreats and trainings. I had a business training, a enlightened warrior training, it was called, in the desert in Palm Springs. I was networking. I was understanding business for the first time, sales, marketing, um, product placement, like all of these things, brand. And it was so new to me in a way that I was just absorbing like a sponge. And I would, of course, things have to integrate and take time and massage until I kind of find my way. But I was really busy. And in the community, I started a women's circle, which is now today still active and having over 1,000 members inside. I started a market in the town where it would bring up artists, so people who would paint, vintage clothing, musicians, and I forget what I called it, but it was like this market, this like artist market. And I also started to rent a location in town where I would hold workshops and also other people I could showcase other people's work. And I remember making a whole portfolio and it was all about community. Like I just wanted to showcase artists and I was one of them. So their community has been such a big pillar for me. And even though I don't think I have a big following right now, it's like 2,000, almost 3,000 followers on Instagram. I have a couple thousand friends on Facebook, but I can say that I have a strong community. Like there are people, and it's probably you who are listening to this podcast as well. Like you genuinely care about me and you know me. You've been following my journey, or you know a little bit about me, or you really resonate with me, and there's a home feeling. And for me, that is like I'm feeling touched talking about it because it makes me feel so rich to know that there's so many beautiful people in the world that I got to connect with and make relationship with, and I know there's so many more. But for me, it's like all about connections and it's all about people. And it's not always like as I've been growing and knowing more people and more people knowing me, it's not always easy to have like the same relationship with everyone and things like this. And I've had to, have different priorities and different things. But the the full circle moment or this like 10-year cycle of seeing like I started so many community projects and I built all of this on relationships, on people, people trusting me, people listening to me listening to people, teaching, hearing, guiding, creating, caring. Like I really care about you and I really care about your visions. And I met a guy out the other night when I was visiting Bergen. I haven't seen him in like 9 years or something, 8 years, I don't know, whatever, 7 years. And we were at the park and I actually only met him one time. And I have a tendency of asking people, what your dreams are and what are you really talented with and like what are your gifts? And he was sharing his gifts with me. And I just remember like the light in his eyes. And for me, those moments mean so much. And he saw me out. It was a crowded place, and I remembered his name, and he was like, "Wow, you remember my name?" Like, I remember you. Like, I remember that conversation. I remember exactly where we were on the grass. You were telling me about your music, and then I asked him, "Are you going to play soon? Like, are you doing stuff?" And he's like, "Oh my gosh, you remembered." I didn't even think you remembered who I was. And it's like for me, this is natural. Like I remember these things. I remember there was another woman I met in Bergen now. She was like, I hadn't seen her in 8 years. She was pregnant with her daughter, and now her daughter is 8 years old. So we figured out that it was 8 years old. And she was like, I was like, I remember where you were laying. I remember your breath. I remember your process. I remember what you shared. I remember where you were in the circle. Like I remember these things. And it just means the world to me, you guys. These connections and the messages and also in Bergen, I was just in Bergen holding two events and I met one of my clients that I have been working with for a year and a half. She's in my membership. She's joined Healing the Heart. She's done my Rebirth Mastermind and some one-on-one sessions. And meeting her was just like, oh my gosh, it was better than I could ever imagine. It's just like she's funny, she's deep, she's smart. We've done so much work together. The work gets easier and easier together. We're like growing together. I've seen her do so many shifts and changes, and at the same time, we can have so much fun together and laugh. And it was just so incredible to feel the relationships that I have with the community and with you guys. I just wanted to say that. So 10 years ago, when I was doing this trend in posting, I was like busy making community and making connections and making relationships. And of course, from a mental perspective, you can say that business is relationships because that's also something that I learned. But I wasn't going out from that angle of like business is relationships. So let me force all of these relationships. Let me force all these conversations. Let me force people to like me. And it was really genuine. And it was really like, this is how it's built. We got to talk to people. People have to talk to me. And we need to exchange and actually care about each other and build rapport and build trust. And it wasn't coming from the head, it was coming from the heart. It was coming from passion. There was so much courage in myself 10 years ago that I saw where I was just really going for it. And I didn't know exactly what I was going to do. I didn't know exactly how it was going to look. I was dabbling in, but the thing is, like, I wasn't dabbling in so many different things. I was really just like inspiration, creativity, believe in yourself, trust, resistance, sabotage, breath, body connection, nature. Like those were my topics and they still are my topics now. I've just refined them and deepened them and got more experience and met more people. So more relationship, more experience. You have a very rich life. If you can gain wisdom and gain relationships, you have a really good life. At least in my perspective, that's how I kind of am gauging success in my world. Am I meeting new people? Am I deepening the relationships that I have? Am I actually making a difference in the relationships that I have? And am I gaining more wisdom and experience? If both of those are yeses, then we're in a good place, you guys. So the 10-year cycle is very interesting. I don't know how 2016 was for you. I think any year you can kind of look back and acknowledge your process and kind of see how far you've come. So I think it is going to be interesting to do that almost every year. So 2017 to kind of see, okay, what was I up to there? The power of reflection is so important, you guys. You might have been in a place in your life where you used to journal a lot, write down your thoughts a lot. Like, I don't know about you, but I have hundreds, okay, maybe not hundreds, but you know what I mean? A lot of journals where I'm just writing down my thoughts. And then, life kind of happens and we become more digitalized and maybe the thoughts are more in your notes on your iPhone or on a Google Doc or something, or they're not written down like they used to. But I really would challenge you now to reflect, to do more reflection writing. So it doesn't have to have like an agenda. It doesn't have to be like, write this and this and this, but I would just reflect because the things that really stand out to you, sometimes they can just pass by when really they were meant to stand out to you. And if you just brought a little bit more attention to them instead of just going to the next thing, you'll realize how important that information was. And you'll realize how important that process was, or you'll realize how far you've come, or you'll realize how this thing was here the whole time. By me reflecting 10 years ago, I was listening to a video of me talking because that was a time where I started to talk a lot on screen. And there's a lot of videos. I could have added a lot of videos on this Instagram post, you guys, but I was like, this is going to be a whole like production thing. And, not this time. What is in my hair? This. And I was talking about ease, you guys. I was like, I feel this natural ease in my body and in my life, and I want to show people this. What? It was only last year that I created an ease principle, or 2 years ago that I created an ease principle and launched the ease retreat and like had that as a whole pillar of my brand. Like, and I was talking about that 10 years ago. I don't remember that. I don't remember I never really used the word ease so much in my brand, but 10 years ago when I was creating everything, I was talking about what's my why? Ease. And now it's like this whole thing. Crazy. And if I didn't reflect, I wouldn't have had that insight. I wouldn't have had that kind of full circle moment for myself. So without reflection, life is moving past you, and there's a lot of amazing information that is worthy of writing down, is worthy of reflecting on. Reflection is one of the most important things that we can do as humans, I feel. And we can go quite deep into this about like reflection in ourselves, like mirroring. Now I'm kind of getting this feeling of, oh, maybe this could be like the next masterclass or the next course that I launch, reflection work or like reflect in whatever, because there's a powerful energy here, you guys. And yeah, I also say the work always works in the work. And right now, as I'm in it, it all also develops as well. So I just love that. So 10 years ago, I was really going for it. I was in the work, you guys. And to be honest, I never left it. And this is something that I'm just so, I really stand on, where it's like, if you believe in something and you feel it in your heart, don't don't put it down. Like, don't forget about it. And I understand that, life can life and there's different seasons and there's different ways of doing things, and you can't always go 100% into your passions right away. Um, I had to work multiple jobs to get my business off the ground. I had to do whatever it took to do this, but I would say, even though I was working other jobs, that I was full time in my business because I was fully in. And I really wish that for you as well. Like, no matter what you're going, like, figure out what your full in is and really stay the course. And yeah, like we were saying in the beginning, the expansion cracks are very real, where it's like you're going to meet your edges, you're going to meet the resistance, you're going to meet all of these things. But when you have the resources, it's much easier. When you know your worth, when you know there's like safety always for you in your body and in certain, yeah, in your body, courage is the next step. So let me see here. What else do I want to share with you? 10-year anniversary. So I'm just going to share this little like announcement here. I haven't announced it. I announced it in the ripple effect so my clients know about it, but I haven't announced it publicly yet, and it's going to be kind of going in the next couple days. I am going to be putting on a free event in Oslo. So take a little moment to celebrate with me for a second because, like I was saying, it's been really hard to celebrate myself lately and take the time to really be like, I matter and this matters. I've been really in a state of more like my clients matter. I just need to keep kind of this cycle going, the inspiration. I've been a bit in a hermit mode, like not really wanting to be seen, not really wanting to be like, look at this, look what I did. I just haven't been in that mood lately. And now it's like, okay, the 10-year. I have to celebrate this. So I rented a venue in Oslo. I'm putting on a free event. It's going to be called The Full Circle, and I'm going to showcase my body of work over the past 10 years. And I'm also going to have you reflect on how far you've come. This is a completely free event. There's going to be around 30 to 40 people or like spaces. And within time, there's going to be communication about how to sign up for this. But if you're listening to this and you're like, I want to be there, send me a message and I will put you on like the wait list or the guest list. I'm just preparing all the details of the invitation. So it should be ready in a couple days. So I'm going to celebrate myself, you guys. I'm really happy about that. And I can't wait to celebrate with you because, like I was saying, there's so many people that have worked with me and that actually care about me and I care about you. So, like, celebrating together is just so meaningful. Like, if I was just doing all of this and I didn't know any of you and none of you knew me, it's like it would feel, yeah, like what these moments don't feel the same. And there was a beautiful teaching that I was tuning into some weeks ago, and it was like, we're always looking for a sense of belonging. And sometimes we're trying to stand out in places that we don't yet feel like we belong in. So it's like, look at me, see me, see me. But with the people that actually care about you, you don't have to stand out because what you accomplish naturally they care about. So it's not like, look at me, look at me. It's more like, hey guys, I want to celebrate this thing and people actually care. And like I care with my clients. Like I care about their breakthroughs and what they're going through and how their next steps are and how far they've come because I care about them. But if I didn't know them and they were just like, look how far I've come and look, and I'd be like, I don't really know you. So I can't really relate. Like I'm happy for you. This is really cool, but I don't really know you. So I don't have that like surge of energy. And if you're listening to this podcast and you're like, I actually don't know you, Elisabeth. I don't know you, but I want to get to know you, then it's like there's no better place than just to start now. Like let's get to know each other. Hi, welcome. My name is Elisabeth, and I would love to get to know you more. So feel free to add me on social media. Feel free to come into my free Facebook group, send me a message, join the Ripple Effect, join my membership. I mean, just get in the space. Let's get to know each other. I would love to work with you. I would love to get to know you. And if you do know me, then you know me. So I'm really excited to finally celebrate and to kind of get into that energy again. And I've been with Gabrielle, who is a like my right hand woman, and we are just planning such a cool party, you guys. I'm super excited. It's going to be February 22nd in Oslo. So very, very excited about that. What else happened? I held a 2-day liminal event, which was really cool. That's inside the membership, talking about the space in between, which I think is such an important energy to get into, like how you relate to the unknown and also knowing what your thresholds are. So, like, what is it that brings you into a process? What is it like, where is your threshold, meaning like your door, where you enter into liminality. I don't know if that's a word, but this liminal space, this space in between. And then how do you handle the space in between and how do you land the integrations of what's on the other side? Or do you just come back to the door? Do you open doors, go into the unknown and come back to where you were? Or are you able to open doors, be in the liminal space enough until it lands? this is what I talked about in those 2 days, and they are inside the membership. So by joining, you get instant access to that. You get instant access to Facilitate is in there, which is like a 2 day event all about being the facilitator because facil means to make things easier. And it was actually this event that got me the speaking gig at the university. This 2 day event, Facilitate, that is in my membership for $99 a month. You can instant access to it, plus all the sessions, meditations, and master classes, got me a speaking gig at the university in Oslo. What? And of course, this woman who hired me, I have a relationship with her. I care about her. I respect her. I've been nourishing our friendship, our professional relationship. Like that's the beauty of caring about people and building relationships and network and not forcing it and feeling it's natural. And then suddenly I put out a body of work and she recognizes it and invites me in to a university. Facilitate, you guys. And she also talked about liminal space. She was like, let's bring that in as well. So I'm going to be teaching about facilitate and liminal space in the university. Guys, I'm like, through this podcast, I'm actually feel like I'm going to start crying. Through this podcast, I think I'm realizing even more what what that means. So, and then I was sharing that I'd been to Bergen. I had two in-person events. Some clients were there. I had a breathwork training student observing, being there. She was completely speechless. She was just falling more in love with the work. It was just so incredible to be in Bergen, where it all started for me, a town in the west of Norway. And I had two events. They went so great, and I met so many amazing people. And if you're listening to this, thank you for being there. And it was yeah, so nice to be in person. I also held a masterclass on non-interference that's in the membership and about the professional side and the personal side of being in non-interference and really finding a flow state of having structure, boundaries, and preparation, but also being trusting yourself enough to allow things to move and also being able to handle the truth because being in a non-interfered state, and I think this can lead to like courage and the things that you guys wanted me to talk about today, is you have to be willing to handle what comes up. And I think this is why control and a lot of like need for control and need for safety comes up so much because it's scary. It's like if you're in a non-interfered state, the truth has a more likelihood of coming up. If you're in a non-interfering state, like you can feel more of this like undercurrent momentum that finally has space to come up. And this is kind of scary to the parts of you that need certainty, the parts of you that need safety, the parts of you that need to know and have control. I'm not saying to lose control and to have no safety. Again, we need both. Like, I like to know what's going on. I like to have connection to my body. I like to prioritize and have boundaries, but I also leave a lot of space for non-interference where I'm relaxing my mind, I'm relaxing outcomes, I'm relaxing agenda, I'm relaxing my body, and I'm really allowing the truth to come out with less and less and less and less resistance. And as a professional, being a facilitator, this is the pure transformation in your clients. If you are interfering with your client's journey, I would say that you are in a state of being scared about what would come up. So you have to control their process. And of course, you need to have some containment. I talked about this in the masterclass. Like, containment is so important. Like, how do you contain? It's just this whole thing. You need to find the sweet spot in your life where the containment and the non-agenda can be in the same room. That is the beauty. So that you're not just like swaying with the wind with no boundaries, but you're also not controlling every single step either. Like, this is the flow state that we want to be in, you guys. And as a professional, this is the flow state that I want you to be in. This is the type of spaces that I want to be in as a client. And this is the type of spaces that I hold as a professional. So I'm going to end this podcast. I wonder if there's anything else about the clarity and the courage. No, I think, if I say things now, I'm just kind of forcing it. I'm just going to trust that what I said in this podcast has been enough and enough for you to like feel into and sit with. I can say one more thing that's coming up, like right now in this moment. Clarity is in the body. Clarity is in the body. So the mind, you would think clarity is in the mind because it's like, aha, like I know what to do. And it can feel like that. There can be inspiration, thoughts, reflections, right? But clarity, deep clarity comes through the body. So we have to feel emotions. You have to be in contact with the parts of you because it's like all the next level things are actually just deeper layers of yourself. So every time you think you have to do something outside of yourself to get more, whatever it is, bring it back inside because it's a deeper layer within yourself. It's you feeling more you. It's you being able to communicate better, connect to your heart better, know your boundaries better, know what you want better, prioritize your time better, like all of these things. It's all about like you being more you and creating structures and flow for yourself to thrive in your relationships, in your career, all these things. So clarity is really much in the body, and courage, I think, is such a beautiful pair to that because courage gets you very much in the body. Like courage is kind of the doing, the action of the heart, and the I don't know what's on the other side, but I'm going to be okay. So, and through doing, we experience more clarity as well. Contrast, all of these things. We learn through contrast. Big part of learning as a human is through contrast. And you don't really get much contrast if you don't move. So you can go a certain way and be like, okay, that didn't feel good, but now I know because it didn't feel good. But if I didn't do it, I wouldn't have known, right? If you're wondering, how can I get how can I get into your world, Elisabeth, that feels very lighthearted? It feels like I can just get a sneak peek. Honestly, you guys, join the Ripple Effect. It's my Telegram group. It's $29 a month. It's less than a coffee. And there's a community chat, like people are sharing, and it's not overwhelming. It's not like thousands of people doing so many messages, but it's really thought out, mature, resourced, beautiful people who are sharing things that they're really going through and sharing insights. And it's a lot about celebration and reflection. So it's not like deep process work happening in the Telegram, but it's more reflection and celebration. And then there's different themes or topics, it's called in Telegram. So it's organized where you enter the Telegram group. There's a community chat called the Ripple Riff community chat. And then there's topics that are organized that is just me. Like it says Ellie only, courage, January, for example, which is happening right now. Monday to Friday, I go in every day with an audio. And I don't pre-do these. I do them in the moment. I'm sharing stories. I'm reflecting on what people are saying in the chat. Like it's very alive. And I have a member inside of the circle membership, which you get the ripple effect. You get facilitate liminal breathwork sessions. You get all the things in the circle. So that would be the next level if you're feeling like I don't want just a Telegram. I want the breathwork sessions. I want the master classes. Then the circle membership is definitely the place for you. $99 a month. You can come and leave. You can stay as long as you want, and you can leave whenever you feel complete. And the ripple effect is included in that. So the 29 membership is included in the 99 membership. And she's in the circle, and she said my favorite thing about the circle is actually the ripple effect. And I was surprised because I'm like, well, what about my breathwork sessions and my master classes? Because those are like really high value things. And she was like, but I just love the ripple effect. I love the Telegram. So there you have it. Someone is in my membership that gets everything. She likes the ripple effect the best. It's $29, you guys. I really feel like it's something to at least try. So the next thing is my training. I want to share just one little thing that I'm feeling shifting in my world right now and to see, how does this apply in your life and how could this possibly support you? So I have been a breathwork trainer, meaning that I've held certification programs for almost 5 years, 4.5 years. Wait, 5 years? 5 years. Yep. No, 4.5, whatever. Okay. It was fall 21. And I have absolutely loved being a breathwork trainer. And it happened in a way where people, my clients were coming to me saying, I want to train with breathwork. And I was like, well, I'm not going to do that until I'm 50. So, and they were like, and I was like, why don't you go to somebody else? And they were like, well, we want you. We want to train with you. And so much was happening in my life at the time where people were just coming out of nowhere. Like, are you doing a breathwork training? Are you? And I was just like, no, maybe. What's going on right now? And then it kind of just came through me. I was like, okay, I'm going to start training. So I was training breathwork, and obviously, like my work and a lot of people that work in the personal development field, especially with personal brands, there's a lot of evolution. So training with me 4 years ago is very, very different than training with me today. Same ethics and values. So I haven't changed on foundational things and values and things, but everything else has deepened, matured. I have more experience. Like I haven't stopped. I didn't just make the course 4 years ago and not upgrade it and not evolve personally as a professional. I mean, I've done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of sessions since I started. How could I not evolve as a professional? And the way that I mentor and the way that I lead and the things that I've learned. So, this has been such a journey for me to lead this program. And what I'm realizing now, so something is shifting in my world where it's so much more than just breath work. And I have a client right now that is training with me, and she loves breathwork. She's been, doing breathwork with me for many years. She knows me personally. She hires me in to be in her retreats, which I'm going to be in this year as well. And she told me on the last training call, she goes, I don't know if I'm going to be a breathworker, but what you are teaching inside of this program is changing everything for me. It's changing the way that I'm showing up in my personal life. It's changing the way that I'm showing up in my client communication. It's changing the way I'm showing up in my yoga classes. I am not teaching yoga, you guys. I am not a yogi. I don't do anything that has to do with yoga. And it's just, she says it's shifting. People are noticing her presence in the space. And that was just such a validation moment for me because I kind of needed that, or I didn't need it, but it was like, wow, that was a validation moment of this program is so much more than just guiding breathwork sessions. If you are called to breathwork, and I kind of call it like the spirit of the breath just kind of takes you, and you really feel like this is what you want to do, amazing. This program is going to be so supportive to setting up a breathwork business, getting the sessions, feeling confident, doing your own sessions, practice sessions, mentoring, theory. Like there's so much there for you. But if you're feeling like, you're a coach, you're a therapist, you are doing some other modality that you're working with people and you're holding space, so one-on-one sessions, group sessions, online sessions, and you're facilitating transformation, this program is going to support you. And it's hard to say exactly with what because there's so many dimensions and everyone's on a different timeline. So it could help you become more confident in the way that you show up in the space. It could help you get more professional boundaries of guidelines and terms and conditions and ethics and etiquette. It can help you allow yourself to be more in the unknown, in the non-interfering. It can allow you to be more trauma informed and understanding um, what clients are coming with and how to actually facilitate transformation. It could help you expand your body of work. So really getting clear on like what are your gifts and how is your brand going and how can we continue to really develop your body of work with confidence? Like what's your unique gift and how can we continue to get confident in getting that out in the world? So there's so many different aspects to this, and not to mention the beautiful connection with the breath and how that can help you so much and your clients have resource in their life for regulation and transformation. So I have my next cohort starting in March 24th. Right now, the price of the program is $3,888 US. It's a 6-month program. There's also a in-person retreat that's optional in May, the last week of May, in a beautiful location on the beach in Norway. So if you're feeling like you want to train in person and really get that experience, I'm putting together such a great team, and we're really going to serve you through 4 days, 5 days of getting you experienced. Like, if you want to develop as a professional, which we all need spaces where we can be held and we can continue our training. The retreat is also open for past students. So if you're listening to this and you did train with me 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, and you're like, I want to get the new stuff, I want to be in the energy, I want to feel like what's fresh, what's evolved, join one of the retreats. You're really welcome. So I would love to have you inside of the program if you're feeling like you've set up your business, you've kind of started guiding clients and you want to strengthen, you want more confidence, you want like, yeah, you want to walk together. Or if you have an amazing practice already and you just want to incorporate breath work, you want to be in spaces that inspire you and continue to help you grow. So there is so much support for you, and I would love to have you in the spring cohort. It's 6 months, and there will be information in the show notes, or send me a message if you have any questions. We can have a little chat as well. So I am hoping that you find some way to get into my world if that is a feeling that you're having in your body right now, where you're resonating, you're feeling there's a connection, you're feeling that there's like this girl gets me, then I hope that you can enter my space. I also have a free Facebook group, which is a perfect place to start if you're not ready to invest in anything, where I have sessions and some different courses. There's one that I led this winter called Healing Arts. It's completely free and it's in my Facebook group. So feel free to dive in there. I also have on my website, Chin Up Heart Open, which is a 4-day thing that gets sent to your email. So there's so much resources for you guys to start even completely free in my world. And then, yeah, join the circle, join the membership, join the ripple effect. And if you want to take it to the next level, join my training. So I'm sending you all so much love. Thank you for tuning into the podcast. And I'm excited for next month's episode. I will see you where we are next connected, and feel free to like leave a rating. If you're listening to this on YouTube, feel free to subscribe. And if you're listening on Spotify, feel free to leave a rating or whatever. I think that's the thing that happens on Spotify. You leave like a 5-star or whatever it is. So I appreciate you guys so much, and I will see you soon.